Hey, hi all, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to cover three major updates that Power BI have recently launched last week. Out of those, two would be on the reporting side and one would be on the modeling side. So in reporting side, we are going to cover the first update, that is report tab navigation, how we can reorder the pages in an efficient way in Power BI. Second, we are going to cover modern visual default, how we can use the color palettes, how we can customize the pages and all. And in the third update, we are going to cover the modeling part. So in that, how we can add descriptions directly in the DAX query view. So let's get back to my workstation. Yeah, so moving to the first update, that is this modern default visuals that allow customizing the current theme in the Power BI. After that, we are going to cover this report tab navigation that have now enabled users to efficiently reorder the page in the Power BI. And at last, we are going to cover this measures description part, how we can add the description in the measure use the DAX query view. So I'll just share my Power BI screen and then we can start with this. So as we discussed, the customization current theme is currently in preview mode. So we have to enable that. So in order to do that, we have to just go into the option sections. Under that, the preview feature, and then we have to enable this modern visual default. And once we click on the OK, it will ask me us to restart this Power BI. We are going to just close this and we are going to open it back. And once we have restarted the Power BI, we can see that there is a customized theme pane over here. So there are some customized base themes over here, Fluent Classic 26 in 2018. We can also define a custom theme. Also, along with that, there is a color palette option enabled for the users. So if we will select a specific color, let's say twilight, the old data bars, the bubble chart, the line chart, all the colors of this dashboard is going to be updated based on that palette. So now instead of manually mapping each colors, we can simply use this color palette. We can define a color palette and use across the organization. Also that we can now define some of the text over here. So for example, in this text pane, if we wanted to change all the text, let's say Calibri or so, we can simply do that. And now if you will see, all the subtitle and all this has been changed. We can also define the sizes and all over here. And after that, we can, there are some other options like canvas setting, visual properties, transparent background and all. So we can also use those. There is an option to define a wallpaper over here, filter paints and all. There's a lot of customization that has actually been brought into this pane. So after that, we are going to move to the second update, that is the report page reordering part. So now earlier what Power BI, there was a challenge that we have to pick the, if you have to move this project, this page to, let's say here, out after this page, we have to drag and drop it over here. And if there are some further pages over here, we have to drop it over here, then we have to go back on the right and then we have to click and then we have to drop it over here. But now what Power BI have enabled is that we can simply click over here, we can make on the left and right, and the pages will start auto scrolling and we can drag and drop it wherever we want. So for example, here we can do that. This is a very important feature. If you have like 10-12 pages in the Power BI, it really eases our work. So after that, moving to the last part of the update, that is the DAX query description. So we will move to the DAX query view. So earlier what was before this update, I'll explain you what, if you have to define some of the measures definition, we have to come over in the modeling, we have to click over here in the border, and then we, let's say I'm going to define this for py, and we have to write a description, let's say profit for the current year. And then we have, if we will scroll over there, it will show the description that this is the profit for whatever the description we have done, and this is the profit for that year, this is compared to the previous year. And now if we hover over here, it will update. Now with this update, what we can do from the DAX view is that we can simply write a description over here, like what is the what is the logic for that. Let's say after these three slash, we can write in the calculate total sales for the year. We are going to update these changes, and what it will do is that it will create a measures like sales 2013. We have defined it. Now in this sales 2013, if you will hover, it will show calculate the total sales for the year 2013. And if you wanted to update it over here, we can simply do that. And you can simply click on the update model which changes. And once we hover back to this, it will show calculate total sales for the year. This is the new measures. If you wanted to bring it to the new line, we will simply click over here, and then we can simply add the line over here. And now once you click on this, it is going to move that in the new line. So we have the first line and then the second one.